Hi, I'm Trinity. Welcome to my channel, Heal to Your Divine Journey. So I have stepped back into the 80s with this fluoro pink top that I have had in my cupboard for about a year that I haven't even worn yet. Maybe once. I know my daughter may have worn it a few times as well. But how cool. I just thought, yes, fluoro pink, good vibe. Let's get into it. So, oh yes, and my last video, when my phone rang, which I've turned it off this time, by the way, all these things that I'm learning. So, yeah, so it wasn't my son cancelling, so I did have a beautiful lunch and we caught up, which was great. As your children get older, it's hard to catch them. They're busy, they've got their own lives that they're leading. So I do love catching up with them and hearing what they've been up to. It's really good. So my week 2 was because my last video also I did mention that I had that stabbing pain in my back. So I was with a friend and I had mentioned my huge rash that had come out. And so she's like, oh, let me see. So when I showed her, and she said, oh, you need to get to the doctors. I think it's shingles. And I'm like, wow, okay. She said, no, you need to get to the doctor now. And by the way, she did have a laugh because my huge rash is like only this big. But I am dramatic. I am. I really am. But to me, any little rash is huge. It shouldn't be there. So, of course. So yeah, so I called the doctor and they said they were fully booked. And I said, hang on, because my friend had told me that there's a 3-day window to get this rash before it gets worse. So I said before I go on, if every other doctor I was like looking up, like, we close at 5, we close at 5. Why do you close at 5 when people finish work at 5? It doesn't make sense. Anyway, so I found one after hours. Well, she said, sorry, we're fully booked. And I said, I think I've got shingles and it is the last day. So I need to see somebody now. And she goes, oh, okay, we'll fit you in. And she goes, oh, when you arrive, make sure you've got a mask on and you need to sit out at the front door and call when you arrive, and then you must wait outside. It's like, okay. So when I got there and I rang and I said, oh, I'm here. She goes, oh, yeah, just sit there and wait. I'm like, is it safe out here? She's like, you'll be fine. I said, well, I better be. Anyway, so I sat out there with the fluoro lights and bugs like dropping on me. But anyway, different story. So the bugs. So I went in, and when I eventually saw the doctor, he's like, so what's wrong with you today? And I'm like, oh, I think I've got shingles. He's like, oh, okay. So anyway, and he goes, oh, yes, I think you have to. He goes, you look really well for somebody who has shingles. And I just looked at him and said, well, it's the energy I walk in. And he just looked at me all confused. But anyway, so that's all sorted. I got it in time and I have just been pretty much resting the last 3 days. So that's why I'm a little late again in my video. So I wanted to talk about what was next. Oh, yes, that's what it was. So I am going to get my friend a little gift or something to show appreciation as thank you. That was very kind of her to help me out there. And that's what we need more of in the world. If someone helps you out, give them something. It doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to be, you know, go out of your way totally to get them something. I mean, it could just be words in a card, a message, something that you make. But this is where it is. When someone does something nice for you, do something for them back. It's give and take. If someone is continuously taking from you, this is where you cut them off. This is where it's not balanced. I have another beautiful friend who every time I see her, which is maybe once a month or something, she always has a little gift. It's so beautiful. I get surprised every time. And I do things for her too. But I will surprise her next time I see her with an actual gift she can open. But this is what this world needs. This is what this world lacks. Is too many people are either giving or too many people are taking. There needs to be a balance. There needs to be equal give and take. Nobody is better than anybody. We are all here on this earth, on our journeys, doing the best that we can. So no one, don't let anyone just take. And don't be like me over the years who's always give. There's got to be equal balance of give and take. So that's what I talk about when I say to cut it off. If it doesn't serve you in your life, then you need to cut it off. Stop it. You have to do that. That is important because it is your life. As far as we know, there is only one. So you have to live it happily. It cannot be out of balance. You have to be in balance with your life. And that is so important. Also, grounding. Grounding is so important. Many years ago, I think I was maybe 30. That was a while ago. Ha! The 30s were great days. So when I was 30, I had young children, and I had a video recorder, like a video player. What were they called? Video recorder. I don't know. I forget. So I had a video of, it was Pilates plus sculpturing. I couldn't even tell you who it was, how old this video was. It was quite old. I have tried to look for this video because I absolutely loved it, and somehow it just got lost in probably my 7 moves or however many moves. God, we moved a lot. So it probably got lost in moves, but it was a fabulous video. And that really taught me about grounding, really grounding your feet. So it was like not aerobics, but it was Pilates, plus it had a bit of dance in it as well, and sculpturing. But what I got from that video and doing that each day was, because it's all about from, say, your belly button down, you sink all your weight into the floor. So that really grounds you into the ground, and the rest up you lift up, which also is great for your energy. So I really found it, like, this video is amazing. If I could find it again, and I don't know, it'd just be amazing to still do that. Thankfully, I still have most of the techniques like burnt into my memory. So, but that is definitely a great grounding technique. So if you really sink your weight into the floor, and that way you really feel your feet on the ground. Also, another one is when you are out in nature, take your shoes off and really put your feet in the ground and feel it. Really, really put your feet, your weight into the floor and lift up. Lift the top half up to gain your energy, to really lift. It's really beautiful. And that is how you get grounded. Really sink your weight into the floor. Get your feet feeling the earth. And also lifting up to raise your vibration. Really does work. And I remember that, as I said, it's still in my memory. So also the other thing, I actually went for a walk this morning early when it wasn't raining. It's almost like so beautiful. It was raining, driving there. I get there, the sun starts peeking through. It's just beautiful. I keep seeing my 3 birds, 1, 2, 3. They're like walking down the path, 1, 2, 3, come flying towards me. Just whoosh over my head. They're like so close. It happens to me at least twice a week. 1, 2, 3 birds. It's just beautiful. All different kinds as well. It's not just the same 3 birds. That would be amazing. So, yeah, walking. This is another thing that I have always paid attention to. So I do like to walk around the lakes. So when the sun hits the lake, it doesn't matter, you know, if I go in the afternoon or the morning, and you see that gold just glistening on the lake. And it's almost, if you're watching it, you can see it just creeping and creeping towards you. And it's just beautiful. It's like gold everywhere. It's like this line of gold just glistening towards me. It's beautiful, but these are the things that you need to pay attention to. And then I start thinking, yes, gold. Look at this beautiful gold coming to me. I have all this beautiful gold in my life. And this is what it is. This is what you do. But you've got to pay attention. You really got to be aware and see what is around you. And what has been coming through for me while I have been resting is that I cannot stress enough in where we are right now in this world that I'm just going to say that I am highly intuitive person, if that's how you say it. Yes, I am very intuitive. I'm not a psychic. I don't predict the future. I don't do any of that. I just know that there is more fear coming, lots more fear, panic coming in the world. It's coming. And I just know this. I just feel it. I am being, what would you say, divinely guided. This is true. This is my truth. I'm speaking my truth, what I see, what I know. There is fear coming. There is panic coming in this world. They're going to try anyway. Now is the time to put your faith in God. I cannot tell you enough to start believing that there's more to this world. And the more people that vibrate higher and believe in God or the universe, whatever you want to call it, it's each to everybody. Everybody's different. I get that. I refer to as God because that's how I see it. We need to support each other. We need to support the elderly, who probably the only ones who still watch the news. We need to help everybody we can. We need to stop this fear. And if you have faith in God, there is no fear. There is no fear. And I say that because if you have faith in God, then you know where you're going and you know you'll be taken care of. If you don't, then you will be lost in some way, or panicked, or have fear. And that's a horrible place to be. It's a horrible place to be when you live in fear. So I cannot stress enough for everybody, anyone who wants to listen, you have to start putting your faith into God. You have to. Now is the time. Now. Now is the time. And how you do that is to believe, pray, ask for guidance. Someone sent me a message, a beautiful person, and he wrote in it, if you're anxious, give it to God. God says be anxious of nothing. So I use this with so many things. I remember there's been times at work where I've just felt anxious, or not with work, not with anything, just my own personal, it's hard to describe, just feeling maybe overwhelmed, letting emotion get the better of me. Mind you, I was going through a pretty hard time. So I did. I used to go into the toilets and I would give it to God. I would say, God, please help me. I'm giving you this emotion, whatever it was. Thank you. And it would go. So whenever you're stressed, whenever you need Him or God, her, whatever, universe, that's when you need to give it to them. Give it to Him. It works. Try it. But you got to believe. You got to have faith. You can't just give it to God if there's nothing in you. There's no love. You have to have love. You have to have faith. But please, if God's not it, then I'm not sure what else you can believe in. But you have to believe in something. because there is going to be, whether it be spiritual, people awakening, they don't know what is going on. There's definitely going to be fear put out into the world, more so than what has been. So you have to have faith. You have to have faith. And you have to love. And also help others. Because that's what we're here for. We're here to help one another. And this is why I'm doing this. This is why I am doing this. Is to shine my light and to help others. So I intend to get this out here. Get this out. I have mentioned before that I procrastinate a lot. That's one of my really downfalls. I'm now taking action though. I'm going to do whatever it takes to get this out, to help people. As I said, whoever wants to listen. But it's time. No more me procrastinating. It's time. It's time. So it's not only time for everybody to put their faith in God, it's time for me to take action and do something with this, more with this. It is time. So thank you. I will see you soon, and please take care. Bless you all.